Surrender. All right. Hero group. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
All right. Ring that bell.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into another newly listed on the CSE. I'm Anil Mall. I represent the Canadian Securities Exchange. And today I am sitting down with Marc Background. Marc is the president, co-founder of Eat Well Investment Group, Inc. Of course, they're listed on the CSE. Marc, how are you today?
Great, Anil. Such a pleasure to be with you today.
Likewise, we hosted a virtual market open this morning. We had a chance to talk to some of your team members. Real fun morning. But let's jump right into it, Marc. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about Eat Well Investment Group? I mean, this is a hot sector. What is the vision behind this company?
Absolutely. We're really born as a vertically integrated plant-based food company. We've got a management team with really decades of experience. Some of us might not want to admit how many decades, but we have designed a vertically integrated plant-based foods company that's close to the farm and close to the fork. And so with that, we've got a mission to feed families worldwide and do that at transformational scale. So we're actually global in breadth. We've made 2 investments so far with a couple of businesses we can talk about. We've got a management team and an advisory board that's bar none. And it's funny, someone recently asked me, what is your addressable market? And we can talk about all the data as much as we want. But at the end of the day, our addressable market is anyone with a body. That's kind of how we think about the health and wellness opportunity, as well as certainly the other aspects of plant-based eating. That's what we're here to do today. We're really a brand new company. We just executed a name change a couple of weeks ago. We're delighted to be with the CSE. Thank you all for all your support. So great story just beginning.
Well said. Now, what was the strategy behind
the pronged secular global trend, and the public markets made the most sense to go there? There's also significant upside available for our investors, your audience, certainly at the CSE, because we're brand new and we're trading at a significant discount, but we want to get our story out there to everyone, and the public markets were the right route.
Got it. I want to talk a little bit about your background, Marc, but I also noticed you guys had some news this morning. Let's start off by talking about your advisory board.
Absolutely. We're nothing without our leadership team. And we're not just friends, but we've been in the trenches together for a long time. This morning, we announced Dan Prefontaine, who leads the Saskatchewan Food Center, as one of our strategic advisors. Dan is one of the best people in Canada, and I know there are a lot, so that's a high order. I've gotten to know so many wonderful Canadians in our adventures here. So Dan has helped over 400 companies develop over 900 products, all rooted in plant-based eating and plant-based health and wellness and plant-based technology. So he's joined us. We're one of the very few boards he's on. Dan is one of these folks where all the global tier 1 CPGs count him as a friend and a consultant. And he is someone that's going to help us build our foundation for the long term. That's one of the beauties of our advisors, is they haven't been in this space just a day or two. They actually are part of the foundation of the global movement. And that relates as well to our other advisor, Prince Khalid bin Al-Walid. Say that 5 times. He's the CEO of KB Ventures. He's part of the Saudi family, royal family, and he has been a pioneer and architect of the global vegan movement. And he has agreed to join our strategic advisory board, one of the only, if not the only, public company he's supporting. So these 2 gentlemen are friends, they're leaders, they are architects and pioneers of their own respective spaces. So what you can see right off the bat is the Eat Well Investment Group knows people in the space that have been developing and architecting the ecosystem and will continue to do it globally for the long term.
Marc, you're obviously aligning yourselves with the right caliber of people that you need to move this company forward. What about your background? Talk to us about how you got into this space.
Sure thing. It's funny. I've been doing this long enough, and I can now say I've been doing this long enough. And I started my career at what I joke was the original plant-based food business, the Quaker Oats Company. Incidentally, we got a lot of our oats from Canada. So I've been almost 24 years in consumer products in a variety of different roles, from brand management to corporate strategy, leadership, M&A, and executive management. The most recent number of years, I was in a sports nutrition company, so really the frontier of nutrition and wellness. And I've led a number of those sports nutrition businesses, as well as a plant-based business here in Orange County called Amazing Grass, which was all about greens and superfoods. So in that, I've been privileged, humbled, and honestly blessed to be in executive leadership of businesses that are anywhere from $100 million in retail sales to several billion, the likes of which would be considered at the Quaker Oats Company or Gatorade. So a consumer products veteran, a plant-based foods enthusiast. I absolutely love what this space is all about. And almost my entire career has been in health and wellness products. So my journey into this space has been a long one coming. And my work with our team is actually going on over a year now, where we just get to announce all the hard work that everyone's done.
Marc, you obviously have the passion, you have the right people. What else would you say differentiates a company and team like Eat Well Investment Group from some of your peers that are in the space?
So brilliant question, one we get a lot and one that's important. I would offer you three key things. One, I would really build out this concept of our leadership. A company's nothing without the right people, making the right moves, and frankly, Anil, having learned the right mistakes. So whether it's our senior partnership team, our chief investment officer, our head of finance, our head of business development, Marc Coles, Patrick Dunn, Barry Dodato, our leads in investor relations and financing, Damie Brody, Nick Grafton, and the rest of our team, our management team of Bell Pulses, so the Gaudet brothers and their CFO Myrna, or Dr. Bertone, who leads Sapientia. This is a lot of folks coming together to build a seed to market platform. And all these folks, I would say, again, we made a lot of the right mistakes. We've learned a lot of the hard lessons, but we've also made a lot of the right moves. So our management team is absolutely critical. They are the leaders in their spaces. Dr. Bertone, as an example, is a 25-year PhD food science veteran, one of the leading extrusion experts in North America, who invented the Twisted Cheeto. And then you have the Gaudet brothers and Myrna, who led Bell Pulses for 4 decades, really a crown jewel of the prairies. So our management team is key. Number 2, we have real revenues today. And listen, we have a lot of friends in the space, and we know the folks who are leading in food tech. We know the folks who are leading in CPG. We could tell you we have real scale revenue today. We're projecting a magnitude of $60 million Canadian in revenue for 2021 at a double-digit gross margin, about a $15 million gross margin. So that's real economics today. We're a profitable business. Of course, we're going to invest wisely to keep growing that platform. But alternatively, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for us to monetize IP for 3, 4, 5 years. We acquired or invested in the Sapientia IP library, and those vegan Cheetos are going to be launching in Federated in Western Canada later this year. We'll also be building out that retail platform for consumers. So that's real. That's number 2. And the last bit I would tell you is we are building this ecosystem, this global network. I talked about our advisors. We have partnerships with the Saskatchewan Food Center. We have partnerships that I'm not quite ready to announce, but I really want to, with significant players on a global scale. Listen, we're starting with real revenue, but we have a tremendous journey ahead of us. We want to be 10 times our size, 20 times our size. And what I think you can trust as we build this ecosystem, Anil and all the investors in the audience here, is we bring fiscal discipline, we bring breadth and agility, but we always have discipline because we've learned the hard lessons. We're not entrepreneurs who just showed up. We love entrepreneurs, and we'll be bringing entrepreneurs into the fold, but we have been through a lot of the key lessons and the key strokes. With those 3 points, you can also bet on continued investments and news coming over the next number of months and next number of years.
Well, you've answered my next question, because I was going to ask if there are any milestones you can hint at. where can our audience go to find more information on Eat Well and keep up with your upcoming news?
Absolutely. Listen, go to eatwellgroup.com. That's the best place to get our latest investor deck, all of our information, sign up for our newsletter. From eatwellgroup.com, of course, we'll also be all over social media, LinkedIn, and all the different platforms. But from that website, you'll get all the key information. We'll have news that we'll be sharing through the end of the year. In fact, I have to keep our team back a little bit that we don't want to overwhelm you with all the good news coming. But you'll hear news about ongoing investments in businesses, ongoing partnerships with technology, seed genetics, looking at different ways to leverage the latest in pulse science, and we'll do that on a global basis. So I'll say it just one more time, eatwellgroup.com is the best place to connect with us, sign up for our email list, and hear all our news right when it launches.
Marc, I have to say, I love how you speak so passionately about your company and your team. It really goes a long way. I want to thank you for taking the time to join myself and talk to our audience about the company, your vision, and the people behind this that are making it happen. To our audience members watching, you've been listening to Mr. Marc Background. He's the president, co-founder of Eat Well Investment Group. Of course, it's listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange, and I'm your host, Anil Mall. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to another newly listed on the CSE. Please feel free to hit like and share this content and hit subscribe if you haven't already.